Choppers, better took those risks. Cold blood in my fist, we fire starters. One out of a million will reach those heights. Always to the field and then I won't deny.
We're in the middle, Perez joining him, in it goes towards Olivier Giroud! The corner, not about to strike, what a goal that was! It's out, Chilean takes,
So, good evening, everyone in the chat. Big up to all of you. We are back again with the All Things Arsenal podcast, and switching up a bit today. I'm joined by the lovely Prince Fuad TV, whose link is in the description, people, and he's only 3 or 4 away from 300. So please go check that out. Get him there today. I believe he's going live later as well, and we'll talk about that in a bit because it's very exciting. But we're here. We're still top of the league. We're clear, top of the league. Super positive Fuad's back on. The Arteta in, as we all know. And, you know, it's been a whirlwind start to the season. And sorry, people, that there wasn't the fan reaction yesterday. I got caught up with doing so many other things. It was ridiculous. But this, you're going to kind of get it all in one today. But Fuad, I'll start with you. Obviously, we had Leeds at the weekend. Difficult game, very difficult, very nervy and intense. What were your thoughts on it?
It was a tough game, you know. Leeds United, you know, they come at us hard, and they just pressed us, and Arsenal couldn't beat the press. And then I was like, well, it's one of them games you just think, is it going to be our day or their day? But then Arsenal, for some reason, had luck on their side. They had a penalty missed. And VAR, for the first time, VAR saved us. Because if you go back to instance when Gabriel got pushed, if VAR wasn't there, I think that would have been a send-off. You would have missed 3 games. And on top of all that, they would have got a penalty and got a draw. So luck was on our side. The performance wasn't... Well, they never played well. I think Martinelli never played well. I think the only one who deserves credit is the keeper.
Yeah.
You know, the keeper. Even the defense, for some reason, they just had, I think they just had a day off. It was like they had a day off. It was like, they're all like, you know what, we got this in a bag. Or they went in there underestimating Leeds United. Because the way we've been playing so far, it's just like we've been coming out on people, just bam, 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 bam. Like hitting on people, and to play like that, you know, I sat back on a Sunday thinking we just beat Liverpool, 3 points in the bag, easy win. They go and play like that.
It was a shocking performance overall. Like, I mean, we started off like decently as well. We started off nice and intense, like we were expecting, making some good one-touch passing. You know, it was all looking well, and then something just happened. And from there, it was like an uphill battle. And, you know, thank God Saka scored, because otherwise I didn't see us getting into the game any other way. And it was a difficult win. But sometimes you have to win ugly. It was a really ugly performance, but we still got the 3 points and we move on. It was, you know, I knew it would be a difficult game because Leeds just go at you constantly. They do not stop. And Ramsdale made some fantastic saves. I think he was excellent. Probably one of his better games of the season, I would say. And he kept that clean sheet, honestly. I think he would have saved Bamford's penalty because he went the right way anyway.
Yeah.
So
you got a point there, yeah.
Yeah, I think it would have been a save either way, but it just went wide slightly. Luckily, you know, that would have changed the game completely. I would have seen us potentially losing if that went in. And thank God for VAR. You know, there was a point at the very beginning of the game where we thought we might have to go on without any technology because of the power cut, and in the end, it saved us massively.
I think the power cut might have affected everyone. Because, you know, when they warmed up, they psyched up, they're ready for the game, and it just goes, we're dush. And then Arsenal, do you know what? Arsenal switched off with the power cut, according to me. Because we switched off.
Yeah.
It was switched up in the power and it affected Arsenal more than it affected Leeds. But I'll be honest with you, I think what Arsenal this season is like, it would have been interesting if they would have scored that penalty, because it would have been the Arsenal's, we're losing and they're going to wake up and get that equaliser. Or would it have been Arsenal just like that sloppy old Arsenal just sat back and we'll just play for the draw and lose the game.
Yeah.
Because it could have been any Arsenal, but the good thing about it is we got the 3 points and the result, and that's what matters. And we're still top of the table. But I think Mikel Arteta got a big judge. He got a big decide something. He got a big judgment to make. He's got a big decision, to make. I think that, is he going to drop Gabriel and put Tomiyasu there and put Kieran Tierney as left back? Because even though we won yesterday, on Sunday, something got to change. Even though that team's been winning, you dropped Tomiyasu again. You dropped Kieran Tierney for Tomiyasu against Liverpool. That was a perfect tactical decision. No one's gonna argue. But now you've got to make another one. Going into the what game is it? Southampton game. You've got to make another decision. Or you got to make that decision. Are you gonna stick with your back four, thinking, okay, they're all in yellow cards? You got a big decision to make on Sunday. His head's going to be put him up. But do you think? I think you should put Tomiyasu next to what's his name, next to Saliba, and rest Gabriel for a bit. Just only for a bit. Not drop him, just rest him.
It's perfectly we can do that as well. If I'm hoping Zinchenko's going to be back soon, because this guy can play in multiple places. For example, if you drop Gabriel, then you can put Zinchenko in the midfield. You could put Tierney at left back, and obviously Tomiyasu's in the defence, and Ben White at right back. Yeah. Then, it is possible, for us to do that. It's just whether the manager is going to take the risk. But this manager, these days he's prepared for all things. The light bulb comes in handy. Thank God for the light bulb in this power cut situation. I've seen this meme everywhere, and I really wanted to share it because it really does make me laugh. This guy's prepared for everything. He's prepared, apparently. He's got the light bulb, I sound really Arteta in. I sound really Arteta in here. No. But, power cut, not a problem. Not a problem.
No, what it is, to be honest, I've been seeing, a lot of people, I've been seeing on my platform the other day, and I've been saying, forget the Arteta in and out business now, because Arsenal are doing well. Because if you're going to concentrate on that, everyone's just being bitter. If Arsenal are playing well, with Arteta, he's doing what he's getting paid to do. It's down to he's people asking the challenging. At the present moment, Arsenal are looking like the challengers who are challenging Man City. We're top of the table, 4 points clear. And on top of all that, he's just doing what he's doing as the manager. It comes down to the board now in January to see what they do. See if Edu does his job, because he's doing his job. He's getting results. Yeah. But we know as fans that 1 or 2 injuries could define our season. So Arteta is actually
that's the thing, though. That is this form sustainable? Because if you look at it, 2 players go out, Jesus goes out, or Partey goes out, we're done. We are done. And it's not just. I know Jesus hasn't scored a lot, but he does so much more in the game than just score. And he's a really key role. And, is it sustainable? And January is going to be a massive thing. Especially if we're top of the table by the World Cup, we're in a really good position. So we have to start looking at January, definitely. I'm just going to read through a couple of these comments here because they are coming in fast. That Leeds game was a cause for concern. 2 games back and we were poor, but get the win. This isn't sustainable. We really need to improve. No excuses. Exactly. If Arteta wants to be challenging, then that game is not what I expect. Playing like that against a team like City cost you massively. The small squad limitations are starting to be exposed now. Weak squad, Fuad, haven't we? We've got a really thin squad, and
we have got the best squad. Yeah, we have got a thin squad.
Our bench is rubbish. Our bench. I don't look at our bench and go, oh, do you know what? If we're in trouble, these guys we're going to come in and save us.
If if Al-Nani was fit and Smith Rowe was fit in January, and we buy another 2-3 players, we can go all the way, because Smith Rowe can come in and do a job, Al-Nani can come in and do a decent job, and if you add to that, it'd be good. But I just think it's like the league's. I know we're top of the table, but the league might be a big ask. But at the same time, get the points in now and go for the Europa League, because that's what we need to not win in Europe again. We haven't won in Europe for a long time.
Well, in my eyes, for this season to be successful, we need to win something, and we need to be in the top 4. Otherwise, this manager's done. Because that is, for me, that is the cut-off point. You've had this long to do that. Right now, it's great. 9 out of 10 games, fantastic. Now keep going for the rest of the season. It's just why I'm not making any judgments right now. I'm on the fence. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? I'm so proud of what the team has done so far this season, but is it sustainable in the future? Which at the moment we're looking at, it's probably not going to be.
Yeah, I don't know, because when Mikel Arteta is his team, innit? So last season with no striker, right? He got top 4. This season, I think it's going to be like he's looking at it like, let's bag in the points now. Let's see where we end up. I don't think because if he's telling the players now you're in a title race, he's putting pressure on them. He's coming up and saying, we're not in title race. We're not. And Arsenal keep winning. And what helps the pundits? The pundits are helping us saying, oh, they're not going to win the league, they're in no title race. And I hope come May, we're still there and we're just winning. I hope. So
I tell you now, Fuad, if you were right in some mad universe, I don't know what I would do if that ever happened. But I don't think it's going to happen. That's crazy. That's just insane. But we're in a good position. That's all I'm gonna say.
I agree with your mum says. I agree with your mum says.
Yeah,
Sarah, you've got to drop Gabriel. He needs that head break. He's frail.
he needs to be told. No, he needs to learn his lesson, because he's not been performing, and because our squad is so thin, there's no one to replace him. So there's no competition. So these players in the team, then they know they're guaranteed weekly football.
But do you know me? I do rate. I don't like. Do you know, like a lot of people gives Rob Holding a bad time. I don't think he's that bad. I think he's all right. I think he's a good player.
He's not
the answer, but he's not the answer. But he can come on and do like 20 minutes, half an hour. If you one game, 90 minutes. I'm not saying play him every game, but if Saliba or Saliba or Gabriel gets injured, he'll come next to Saliba and he won't make many mistakes next to Saliba. Because all they don't make mistakes. He just gets, he gets tarnished for stuff he don't do. And now, a lot of it's been exposed, because last year Holden used to get blamed. It's like when we conceded against Wolves in the Emirates, everyone blamed Holden. But it wasn't Holden's fault, it was Gabriel's. And that's what I was trying to say to people last season. And now, people are starting, like I said, Gabriel makes a lot of mistakes. But last year, Ben White is a scapegoat. There was Ben White. And now they're all like Gabriel. But he was making them same mistakes last season. Just people didn't notice it. It's like that mistake he made against Man City when he started kicking the penalty and got sent off.
Yeah, no, he keeps making stupid mistakes, and it's not good enough. Yeah. David Dundas, would you be happy with the FA Cup? It's not. I want us to win something major. I know the FA Cup is major to us, and it is a fantastic trophy. But for me, that isn't the standard of FA Cup and top 4. It has to be Europa League. Europa League. It has to be, because he can go win the FA Cup. We know he can win the FA Cup. Did he win it on a fluke? That's a different story for another day. But for me, it has to be a major trophy like the Europa League. If this manager seriously wants to say he's competing at the top level, prove it. That is the proof. That is the ultimate proof you can give to people. Mikel Arteta clearly doesn't rate Eddie and Odegaard as much as our fans rate him. I disagree with the first part of that, because I definitely do not rate Eddie, and I think a lot of people don't rate Eddie. The drop-off of quality is mad. Mikel Arteta is just giving what the fans rate. Our number 14 barely plays, and Odegaard as captain is sub. Fuad, thoughts?
Eddie.
Don't you stop. None of this crap on my channel, right? I'm not having it. Stop it.
No, I don't mind Eddie. I don't mind him. I don't say he's the best, but I
What
don't
does he
mind him.
do? What does he do, Fuad? What does he do? Because I haven't seen
You know,
anything decent quality-wise for the Premier League to be second
Ed,
striker.
do you know Eddie Nketiah? Eddie Nketiah, right? He's just that's what he's asked to do, isn't he? And like he doesn't like he's just a Europa League player, isn't he? He's just a squad player. And
Yeah,
every time
but our second striker shouldn't be just a squad player. Our second striker has to be able to come on and score. This guy, he comes on, the game goes dead. He's dead up front.
But you know what? That's not his fault, isn't it? You know, he
It
never
is,
like.
but he could put in the effort. Do you know what I mean? He's a top professional player, and he plays like he plays in the reserves team.
I know. Listen, I know where you're coming from. I know where you're coming from, and that, and I can relate to what you're saying. But I was saying the other day to someone, I was saying, you know, his job is to come on and score in the Europa League, and that's what he does. That's his job. When they signed him to stay at Arsenal, I think they just stayed him for him to be in just keep the bench warm just for the Europa League. I don't even think they like come on, like you said, if they did when he signed the contract to stay at Arsenal, surely they should put him on for the last half an hour. They don't even do that.
I'm not being funny. This guy barely plays, and he's the number 14 at Arsenal. I think it is a literal joke. It is an actual joke just to wind the fans up. I'm convinced.
Blame the club for that. Don't blame him.
I am blaming them. I am blaming them for it.
Yeah,
and I'm also blaming the fact that we don't have a quality second striker. Eddie Khan, you know, in comparison to Jesus, he's on a different planet. Like, you can't take off a player of that quality and bring him on. What's he going to provide to the game apart from Europa League? That is his level. That is his level. Coming into the Premier League, he's not up there.
No, okay. He hasn't proved he's up there, right? But they got to give, like Arteta as a manager now, he's got to give him more time on the pitch, though. That's what I'll say.
He scored 0 goals in 10 appearances.
Yeah, but look at the appearances. He puts someone in the last minute sometimes, the last 3 minutes. What are you going to do in the last minute? It's like you can't even put Thierry Henry in the last minute and you change the game when you're 3-0 down. So that's what he does to him, innit? So he's got to play him for when Jesus is going to stay fit. I think Jesus is going to stay fit all season. I think we're going to rest him. But he's got to take the time when you've got a big game ahead of you and you can afford to play in Nketiah. But he hasn't done that, Arteta. So it's like.
But even in the Europa League, he's not. You know, he's not banging in goals left, right, and centre. It's still the players like Saka, etc., that's doing that. He's nowhere to be seen.
But he has scored in every Europa League game except the other day. So that's why I'll give him his due. Yeah, don't go hard on him yet. Wait because
but he's been here for long enough. All right, he's been here for long enough, and he's not the quality that I want. Basically, it's not the standard. You know, it is what it is. We have him, but I'm not.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, in January that we need a second striker because in my eyes he's not a second striker. He's just a reserve.
We should have got Ivan Toney. I think we should have got Ivan Toney. And
yeah,
you know what?
100%.
Ivan Toney. You know what's the most frustrating thing about him? You're not paying 50 or 60 million for him. You're going to be paying pennies for him. You know, Ivan Toney went to England and he didn't even come on the pitch. That means he's not an international player until he makes his debut. So Arsenal in January, he can go to Brentford and say, yo, he's not even international. As soon as he gets his cap, his money goes. His price goes up. So now's the time for him to negotiate and get him for January. Because I think personally that even I think what Arteta might go wrong. I thought making Odegaard captain. I don't think so because everyone knows who
he doesn't talk. This guy doesn't talk. We know who the captain is. Yeah. It is, and you can see that on the pitch. And as much as fans don't want to admit that, based on what he's done this season, and you could see it in the team. You could see he's the leader. And I know we're not going to like the fact that he's captain, and I will still be annoyed at what he's done. But at the end of the day, it's helping the team, and it's doing something with the team that he's doing a good job. Like. I don't even see Odegaard talk on the pitch. I didn't see him in the whole documentary say a word.
Do you know what? I totally agree with you. Listen, Arteta come out and said he's a different kind of captain. He's a silent captain. Listen,
There's no silent captains in football.
Exactly. Arsenal fans, the reality is everyone watching, smash the likes on Gracie-Mae show, and everyone watching, I'm going to say how it is, Shaka needs to get the armband back on him because he's the captain. He's the one who guides the place. He was the one, just the other thing, went up to Gabriel and cursed him. Not nothing. So Arteta, like, fans, if he's working, just give him the captaincy because the team's working with him being captain, man. What's the point of having a silent captain? Or because the fans are up? Well, the fans can up all they want. If he's working on the pitch and he's the one showing the players, like, yo, you guys got to listen now. You guys got to perform. Then we all know who's the captain. But he's going to be...
But it's also... That's also on Arteta as well, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Fuad, 400 million spent and we don't have any quality to bring off the bench. It's a sackable offence. And there are parts of the starting 11 that are not good enough. Fuad, it's 3 years too long. What are you saying?
No. You can't...
It's true, though. But you can't sack him over quality on the bench. Because it's not all him.
It's not all him. And listen, you've got to understand as fans, all right? It ain't his fault. Listen, Arteta, it ain't his fault. The manager, the club employed him as a rookie. That's not his fault. He was 38 years of age, 37 when he got the job, you know. And then they bought him in January. First season 8, second season 8. Then he finished 5th, and now he's fighting for the title because of his young age. And if he can maintain it, you don't see many young managers doing what he's doing now, present moment. So
I still disagree, but but in
the Premier League, come on.
Right now, we look great. Right, you can't sack him because that's just stupid. You know, you come that far, but
100%.
But if by the end of the season, we haven't won anything, or 2, we're outside of the top 4, but I expect those to be together. Yeah, I expect those to be together. If he meets one criteria and not the other, I still want him gone. Because for me, those 2 things shows that there has been progress at this club. Just qualifying for Champions League is not enough. It's not enough.
But the thing is, you know, the reality is, it's not him. It's the board, isn't it? The board. We'll know in January. Do you get me, Gracie? We will know if the board is serious, because if they say to him, just Champions League football with this current squad, he can get top 4 with this current squad. But if they say to him, if they say to him, we want you to win the league, he's going to turn around. We'll get me players then.
Yeah.
That's the reality of Arsenal FC. The reality is January will tell, because if he's there in the ball, don't back him, you can't blame Arteta for that. You got to bring the ball, because they could turn like, you know, Man United is going to strengthen, because everyone's talking about this January transfer. This January transfer is going to be the most busiest transfer market maybe in the history of Januaries, because every time there's a World Cup in the summer, the market goes ballistic.
Yeah.
This market now, you've got to understand, there's going to be a lot of free agents, a lot of free players. There's going to be a lot of players running the contracts on, got a year left, and most of them players are going to the World Cup. And when them players that come home from the World Cup going into the transfer market, these players are available to, even, I know people say it's mid-season, but to them, they've gone to a World Cup and come back, and they're winning, and they're ready to leave, because they're only building up. No, they maintain. The reason why no one left in the summer, because they knew they might not settle in a new team, knowing they're going to the World Cup, these players. Yeah. So now the fact of the matter is, this January transfer market is going to be a lot of players on the market. So don't get it twisted. It's not going to be no normal January transfer when people think, it's going to be busy. And Arsenal need to be busy with it.
It has to be. Yeah, it has to be. It's key to our stance on what we're going to, as you're saying, it's key to our stance on what we're saying we're going to do for the rest of the season. Are we throwing everything at the league? Are we throwing everything at the Europa League? For me, both, a trophy and top 4. That is my current where I'm at. That's my expectation. It's not my standard. But it's my expectation. My standard is a lot higher, but it's one of those things.
The whole idea is,
I expect both.
The reason why I agree with the Europa League, and I agree with they must win the Europa League, is because they're a young team. And the thing is, if they win the Europa Cup, they're going into Champions League with that winning mentality, knowing how to win in Europe. You're not going into the Champions League just a team's like, oh, we just got it. They're going. If they win the Europa League, they're going into the Champions League. We got the winning mentality, how to win in Europe. So that's why, to me, it's very, very important to win the Europa League, because then you go like when Valencia, when Villarreal won it, when they won the Europa League. Look how good they've done in the Champions League last season, because they had that winning mentality and they got to the semi-finals. And that's exactly what Arsenal needs to do. Get that winning mentality behind this young team and win the Europa League, go to the Champions League, and then go on and win the Champions League. And that's what Arsenal needs. And we can shut up all them Chelsea fans. Come on, Mikel, you can do it.
No, I disagree. But this is the comment right here. This is pretty much sums up my beliefs in this manager. 2 years of failure and a third year entering UCL is an improvement. We chased Wenger for finishing fourth. Now why are we celebrating reaching fourth? Trophy should be the aim for every club. And it is. That is my standard. I expect, as Arsenal Football Club, I expect to be winning the league. I expect to be doing all of this. And when I'm not seeing it, it's the most frustrating thing in the world. And fourth isn't good enough. But for I'm talking in terms of this manager staying at this club and not anything to do with other stuff. It's this manager staying at our club has to be that. But you know, I'm on the fence. I'm very on the fence. I'm still Arteta out, but I can't knock what this team has done so far this season. I'd be silly not to praise it. There's no reason for me to sit here right now and say I want this manager gone, apart from, you know, the last 2 years. And at the moment, that's enough for me to say I still don't want him here. But we'll see. I guess we'll see by the World Cup. We'll see in January what it's looking at. But we do have a game on Thursday. It is the PSV game. It's the Europa League game. I'm at that game, which will be quite fun. I will be recording a video as well, which should be great of the day. So I'm looking forward to that, and I feel like it should be a good game as well. PSV are an entire different proposition. Arsenal have to field their strongest team in this one. I think we should. But are we going to save it for our strongest for the Premier League? That's the question. Fuad, what are your thoughts on the PSV game on Thursday? Easy or going to be a bit difficult?
No. He's played Eddie.
So yeah, right. We're going to have to get our strongest team out just for the fact that he's playing Eddie Nketiah.
Nah, I don't know what team he's going to play, but I know he's definitely starting Eddie. He can't. And PSV, they're good. But they're not all that. They won't trouble Arsenal in the Emirates. They're a good team.
I feel like it'd be a good game, but at the Emirates, I mean, I can't wait for the atmosphere, because it is actually electric at the moment, and even at Europa League games. So it'd be a good game to watch. I mean, what score line are you going for?
You go to the game?
Yeah.
I think they're going to win 3-0, maybe 4.
Just to put this down, I've never lost at the Emirates. I've been going since I was like 6. Never lost a game since I've been there. So, you know, it's quite a stat. I must be the lucky charm. But I think I'm probably going to go 3-0. I'd like to see a 4-0, but I'd probably go 3-0 Arsenal. But it's the question of where the goals are coming from, though. I do question that. Who do you think? Who do you think's going to be on the paper?
I hope Marquinhos scores a hat-trick.
Could you imagine? Do you know what? Fabio Vieira, I have to say, this guy in the Europa League's been pretty decent. I slandered him in the beginning because I was like, oh, here we go. Vieira wannabe. Like, what's this going to be like? And I can't complain. He scored some really good goals as well. The performance, that's more Leeds. I do read all of these, by the way. So if you think I've not seen it, then I have. So Fuad, what are you going to say if Arsenal fail to win a trophy, win the league, or finish in the top 4 after being here nearly 3 years and 400 million spent?
Oh, Ben, I'll just have to. He's
going to hide away.
I'm going to hide away, and I'm going to say, it ain't good enough. No, it's not good enough. Then that's when the decision comes from the board, isn't it? They got to sack him. Simple. They got to sack him.
Fuad will then turn Arteta out, and he'll be gone. Because for me, 3 years of abject failure and novices in the senior management positions is completely unacceptable. For me, the whole board needs to go, and I know it will never happen. But Edu, Vinay, I promise you now, if January is not what we are expecting it to be, and it should be, I'm not blaming the owners. I'm telling you now, I'm not blaming the owners, because the owners will, should make money available, and we have that. For me, it depends on our position in the league as well, where we're at, our goals and objectives.
If
But Edu, if the three of them, because we know they're in this transfer team, right? It's Edu, it's Arteta, it's Vinay. If they do not deliver in January, we're in trouble, and they need to be sacked. For me,
but
that is sackable.
Gracie, do you know, like there's people inside the club who are Arsenal, and there's people inside the other Man United, people inside Liverpool, there's people inside the Cardiff City, we know, people inside any people inside the West Ham people, and everyone want to say yes, they are on the transfer committee, yeah, but you know their job, they're on the committee, but they're not on the director committee. So they're on so when it comes downstairs, Arteta just goes in there, writes the names of the players he wants, and says, I want name. That's his part. Then it goes down to the directors committee, Edu and Vina to go and get them players. Because Arteta can't really go scouting. He's too busy working with his players. So his job, Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
He doesn't
there needs to be that communication though. There needs to be there needs to be the pressure from Arteta on Edu to say, right, I need these players, otherwise I'm not achieving any of this. I want these players, and you need to do that.
But he did. That's what he did. It's like they said Arteta in the summer. They said Arteta in the summer when he went in there. He said, I want Zinchenko, I want Fabio Vieira, I want Gabriel Jesus. Bam. That's his job. His job ain't to sit there to haggle with them, to have a price fight with them. Because that means he takes all his concentration off the team into something that's doing not his job. And it's down to Edu and Vinay and whoever's on the board to deliver them players for him. Honestly, that's how it works in football. And that's how it works. It ain't down to him to go in there and sit there and debate with them.
Oh no, that is how it works. I'm just stating the fact that, if this is not delivered in January, our squad depth is that bad that you could see us drop down the table quickly, very quickly. It can happen.
The man got a light bulb. Come on, the man with a light bulb wants players. Come on, man.
The man with the light. You can do it, guys. You can do it.
He's killing it.
It's that guy. That documentary is just a bunch of
that
documentary
has got us top of the table.
No.
And it dropped at the right time too.
No, not having it. It was an embarrassment compared to the other ones. Absolute embarrassment. If we won 9 games out of the first 10, I want another 9 wins out of 10 again, and then repeat. Anything less, I will drop the expectation. Anything less we'll drop the expectation that we set in the first place. Exactly, that is the expectation though. You have to keep the momentum going. I think Vieira has had a great first touch and good passing, but he goes missing too much in games and needs to get involved more. I agree. He does disappear, but then when he's playing, he's fantastic. He just needs to keep up. What are your opinions on Fabio Vieira, Fuad?
I agree with what Christopher said, but Christopher, look at it like this. They don't really, even him. It's like when he had his debut in the Premier League, he was awesome, against the Brentford. And he knows that he's got to hit the bench again. Well,
yeah.
If he would have that start, it might just boost his confidence. So I can agree with what he said at the same time. But at the same time, his confidence boosts. Like when you play that well and you score a screen on your debut and you get dropped, sometimes it is a bit disheartening for the players, isn't it? So the player's going to be like a bit. But I don't know. I can't judge him yet. But if they give him a run of games, and I think if they give Vieira a run of games, I think he'd be perfect for us. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, what I have seen, I am impressed, but he does need to step it up a bit more, and I'm sure he will play on Thursday as well.
He needs to go down the gym with Kenny. That's what he needs to do.
He is very slim. He needs to bulk up a bit. Definitely needs to bulk up a bit. Honestly, if he was a bit stronger, he would be a really good midfielder.
100%.
100, like all the way. Let Xhaka be captain and forget what happened in the past.
For this season, yeah. I agree
Yeah,
with that.
I agree. He's more of a captain.
He's
He is
more than a captain.
more of a captain.
The whole world can see it. It's not this. When people, it's like 3 million people watching Arsenal all worldwide. They can see it. Well, no, everyone knows who's the captain, really.
Yeah,
You
no.
know,
If he does that job anyway, he does it anyway. Like Odegaard for me, not the guy for the job. My mum says I agree. Xhaka has proved himself this season. He commands the team well. Let him have the captain's armband.
it's pointless not giving it to him. It's
Yeah,
pointless.
Vieira needs to go. Yeah, I'm not going to say that one. Say that one out loud. Xhaka is dead food. I disagree this season. Do you know what? He's turned a corner. Xhaka has turned a corner. I never thought I'd say the words ever, but it's took him long enough. It's took him long enough to become that sort of player. But Joe, this season I couldn't give him more praise. I think he's been fantastic, and he needs to continue it. It's probably one of his best seasons for Arsenal ever in like
That's all you
7
want,
years.
Shaka. Yo, listen, Shaka, if you're watching this episode, my good brother, just score and keep doing what you're doing and deliver the title for us.
That's that's the thing. He's scoring as well. He's scoring. He's working well with Partey in the midfield. He plays a much higher position now, though. It's a completely different thing to what he was doing before. He plays really far at the pitch, and it definitely suits him. Ramsdale should be our captain in the future. I agree. I love Ramsdale. I really
I
do.
agree.
I think he's a fantastic. You see him all the time shouting at the players, "Do this, do that." Like the
I,
passion he has as well. When we score, this guy goes nuts, absolutely nuts, and it's just that fight and that passion. It's really nice to see.
I said that before they gave it to Gabriel. I mean, no,
Yeah.
to Altegard. I said give it to the keeper because when you got the keeper, keeper's captain, his important role is serious because when he's screaming to the fence all the time, so they're not going to get a split wrong because the captain's behind them all the time. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Make sure the midfield. So when he's
That's the
from the
thing.
back,
As a goalkeeper, you see everything.
yeah,
That's why goalkeepers make such fantastic captains, because they see everything and they have that space and that time to command the team. It's perfect, and it's what you need. And like I said here, we saw the passion in Ramsdale on the documentary as well. That guy, he lives and breathes football. He
yeah.
really does, and that's something we need in a player. And that's something that makes a good captain as well. We are going to wrap it up here in a second, people, because I know Fuad, you've got another show shortly after
That's
this.
all. Yeah, I still got
Yeah.
20 minutes. I got it's 8 o'clock. It's only 8:15, 7. So
Yeah,
I'm in a rush.
Fuad, shout out your channel because you are close to 300 subs. If you haven't already, people, the link is in the description. Please go
Yeah,
check it out. But what have you got coming up this evening?
Prince Fuad TV. People come subscribe, and I got a show today with a world champion, IBF champion in Joe Cadena. He's jumping on me at 8 o'clock tonight on Prince Fuad TV, and I
Amazing.
got my panel, and there's going to be a few other people in this. But yeah, Joey Cadena is one of the best boxers in 135 in the UK. He was IBF champion, but due to his hand injury, he had to strip title. But he will hopefully be back, and he'll be winning all the titles. So he'll be getting the WBC, the WI. He win them all. The boys elite, like so. People, Joe Cadena, remember the name. All you people watching, remember the name. He's going to be WBC champion, world champion of the world soon. He's already European champion, IBF champion. So remember, and he's undefeated. And he had knockout of the year. And he had knockout of the year last year. So go and see his knockout, Joe Cadena. Remember the name.
Brilliant. So everyone go check out Prince Fuad TV. He's got all the contacts, he's got all the guests, he's got these megastars coming on, and please don't miss it. What's coming up on here next week and for the rest of this week? So Thursday I'm at the game, so I will try my best to, while I'm at the game, to post the fan cams that I am recording. We'll see what signals like, etc., because we know it isn't great around the Emirates. There'll be a vlog recorded that'll probably come out on the weekend, so Saturday, Sunday, and then obviously we are playing again this weekend, so regular stuff with that. Next week there'll be the podcast, and I'm thinking of doing a call-in show as well. So if any of you are interested in the call-in show, let me know. I'll put the link in the chat and get some of you guys on. I'll have some people on the panel as well, so you can ask questions, etc. But no, I'm looking forward to going to the game on Thursday. I'm really excited for it, and you know, it's always great to go for the atmosphere. And I do like going to Europa League games. They're just I like evening games as well. It is an early kickoff. It is 6 o'clock, which is a bit of a pain, but it is what it is. We're going to enjoy it. There's going to be plenty of vlogging and content, and hopefully I'll see Kenny Ken there as well. So even better. But big up to all of you who joined. Check the link in the description, but also please hit the sub button here. We are now on our road to 2K, I guess. On the road to 2K. How bad is that? But big up to all of you, and I will be back again soon.
Shoppers better took those risks. Cold blood in my fists, we fire starters. One out of a million will reach those heights. Always to the field and then I won't see now.
We're in the middle. Perez joining him. In it goes towards Olivier Giroud. The corner. Not about to strike. What a goal that was! So, Chilean takes. Oh!